Here we are at the Annie, otherwise known as
The Cape Ann.
the Cape Ann, but affectionately known as the Annie, with Henry Allen, and everybody knows by now Don Gadow. They're probably sick of seeing Don. Well, no one's ever sick of seeing Don Gadow, the executive director at Cape Ann Art Haven. We're talking about a collaboration of two people that add unbelievable amounts of energy and cool stuff to our community. So let's announce for the people what you guys have worked on and have come up with this brainstorm of collaborative efforts.
Thank you. We have this amazing space here on the corner of Washington and Main Street, and they have an amazing space on the corner of Pleasant and Main Street. And we kind of put our heads together when we met about what can we do this summer that can be a collaboration, that can bring kids and families together and provide summer programming from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. I know we know a lot of working parents need that block of time, but we're both specialized in what we do with visual and performing arts. And so rather than have a daycare kind of program that's full day, we thought, let's break it up. We'll have the younger kids over at Cape Ann Art Haven working in the morning on art projects, and we'll have them here in the afternoon working on theater projects. And then the older kids will be here in the morning and they're in the afternoon, so we'll do this nice switch.
So they're not all in one place for that amount of time.
Right.
That's good for kids. I mean,
well,
kids
not only
can't
that, but they can get outside and walk up Main Street, which is a great thing for them to do. The younger kids obviously will have someone carry them up, not physically, but carry them up the hill. And then the older kids can walk down by themselves to the theater and have lunch in between.
And they'll get to do a variety of different things, but all related. So when they're at our space, when they're here, they're going to be working on writing a play. And by the end of their session, they're going to perform it for all the parents and anyone who wants to come. But for them to perform it, they need props and sets and things like that. So that's the kind of stuff that we're going to be working down at Art Haven on. So the plays will come together with their own artwork and their own plays that they're writing.
And all the original works that the children will be creating in a 2-week session are born out of the folklore of Cape Ann. So they're learning about their heritage, they're learning about where they live and the stories that have been told for generations before them. And then those will inspire them to create original stories and maybe some original folklore too.
We were talking about that yesterday a little bit, and you brought up a great point that a lot of the kids nowadays have really gotten away from learning about this incredible place where we live. It's so rich in this lore, and you were talking about some of the plays that they're working on right now, and why don't you explain it a little bit deeper? But really, it's not just one thing. It's not just art. It's not just writing, but you're bringing this real sense of place.
And learning all the fun stories too, not just like all the things that everyone keeps telling them in school, but like the first week for the younger kids, the theme's going to be the mermaid robot of Gloucester. And so in that you get to learn the legends of Gloucester, like the sea serpent and mermaids and things like that, but also incorporate into that inventors like Hammond and the little gadgets that he invented and things like that.
So to be inspired, not only to be inspired and learn about their cultural heritage, but also to be empowered to create a new folklore for the 21st century that's born out of who they are and the world that they're growing up in. That's really important to make that bridge between history and modern folklore. It's very exciting. Right now, TheatreWorks has started a young playwright series, and the first show that we're writing is called Song of the Sea, and it's about the more fanciful folklore of Cape Ann, but told from the perspective of two old crotchety Gloucester lunch ladies. And the kids came up with this whole concept that's fascinating and multi-leveled psychologically, and there are ghosts and selkies and pirates, and it's this great story that comes to life, which you can do in the theater. You can sort of suspend your disbelief and create a whole other world. One of the things that I really appreciate about these particular kids that I'm working with is that when given the option of writing a show written by kids, whether they wanted to write it for kids to perform or for an intergenerational cast, they opted for an intergenerational cast. So they're being sensitive now in the way that they're writing to adult actors and youth who are going to be performing the show. So it's teaching them a lot of skills. It's also giving them a really strong sense of what they're capable of. Permission is a very powerful thing. We were just talking about, it's really all about permission. You know, this summer we're going to be working with kids starting at age 6, and then we're also going to be working with older kids. And we've pulled together some programmings that are really exciting that involve poetry and puppetry, that involve teen political theater, maybe some multimedia stuff thrown in there. We're also doing a murder mystery on Rocky Neck.
Jesus.
Murder on Rocky Neck. Doesn't that sound great? And then what's the last one that we're doing? It's
The Gloucester in 1623.
Gloucester in 1623, the original colony that was here, that left, that came right up from Plymouth and then left. No one really talks about those stories. And so to have the young actors and playwrights coming in here and really immersing themselves in the world that they live in and the rich history, like you said, that exists here is pretty amazing. And we're thrilled about this collaboration. We also have kind of a side collaboration with the Maritime Heritage Museum.
And Cape Ann Museum also, don't you?
And the Cape Ann Museum for inspiration. I mean, we're surrounded by inspiration. You just walk out the door and you're inspired. So,
Where can people find out information? Obviously, Cape Ann. Art Haven has a website. What is your website, Henry?
you can go to thecapeann.org and find out. You just click on the sidebar link to Henry Allen TheatreWorks, or you can just go to henryallen.org. That'll get you there too.
Simple.
Yep. And ours is just arthaven.org.
Yeah. Everybody knows Art Haven. We can never get we can't get enough though. Okay. Is there anything else we want to add? I think
That's it. That's a good start.
All right. Good luck. I think it's going to be fantastic. Great programs to enrich our community. Thank you guys for what you do.
Thank you.